When I was a sophomore in high school, my dream was to work at Best Buy. Put the blue shirt on, sell computers, sell people things they don't need. No, anyway. That was back in the service plan days. But I dreamed of working at Best Buy. That was very important to me. And I got the job. And 2 weeks later, I realized it was a hard job. Because I was a very introverted high school kid. I had to be outgoing, I had to talk to people, I had to know what I was talking about, all sorts of stuff. And after 2 weeks, I was exhausted. And then called in sick one day, tried to get my mom to call in for me, and she refused. And so I called in myself, and I actually quit. And then 3 months later, I was kicking myself because I really wanted to work at Best Buy. And so I called them back, and they gave me my job back. And 4 years later, I was still working for them. It was a wonderful, wonderful job to help me grow and develop. When I entered into college, I went into pre-pharmacy. My dad talked me into it, so I went into pre-pharmacy because of job security and all that type of thing. But I started taking biology and chemistry classes, and I said to myself, this is hard. I couldn't pass the classes unless I went into study groups and got the answers from the smart kids, and don't do that, kids. That's not appropriate to do. But halfway through the year, I started looking at other colleges. I said, this is too hard for me. Maybe I need to go back closer to home. And I applied to Kent State University. At the 11th hour, I stuck it out at the University of Toledo, got my business degree, and everything went from there. And then I entered seminary. And after orientation, after 2 weeks, I packed my bags and I left in the middle of the night. I got out of there. I said, this is too hard. This is crazy. So I think I have commitment issues, is what I'm trying to tell you. But Jesus is talking all about commitment in the gospel. The great commitment between man and woman, husband and wife, giving themselves fully to each other for as long as they can live. There is no greater commitment than that. Just yesterday, I had the opportunity to go down to Lowell and witness the wedding of Becca and Zgonc. Becca is a daughter of our parish. She ran our RCA program here for a few years, and her and Dave are newlyweds as of yesterday. And today, at 2 o'clock, our youth minister, Hollis, she is getting married to her fiancé, Ryan. So as of 2 o'clock, they will be newlyweds. So witnessing this great commitment just draws me back to the awe and the inspiration that they can give to all of us for the culture that we're living. It's hard to make a commitment. It's just easier to be unattached. Easier to go through life just from here to there, do what I want, when I want. Making a commitment is hard. Hollis and Becca and all married couples out there have made that ultimate commitment. And we do know that once we do commit ourselves to something, yes, it's hard, but it makes life a little bit more rich. We go beyond the surface of things, and we discover more and more who we are. When I started at Best Buy, I was very shy. But through my work and my experience there, I became more outgoing. I learned how to talk to people. I learned more about who I am. Same thing when I went to college. I learned that, chemistry was not my thing. I had more of a business mind, and then of course that brought me to where I am today in the priesthood. And that commitment that I have made to the priesthood has made my life all that more rich. Because of course I'm following God's call in the vocation. He's taking me to a little bit of a deeper level. Same thing is going to happen for Becca. Same thing is going to happen for Hollis. And I know all married couples that are married for 25, 35, 45, 55 years. After all the ups and all the downs, all the things that we go through together, I'm sure that we can look our spouse in the eye and say, I love you even more now because of what we've been through. Now, Deacon Tom wrote a letter in the article. He is an advocate for the Diocese of Manchester for the annulment process. And yes, sometimes with marriages, life is not so black and white sometimes. And life can be very difficult and life can be very hard. And the church does reach out to those with love, compassion, and support through the tribunal, through the annulment process. And Deacon Tom is an expert in all of that. So if anybody has any questions on the annulment process, he will be able to walk with you in that care and compassion that the Lord wants to walk with us. But that brings us back to that great commitment, though. And hopefully today, as we read the scriptures, as we meditate on our own commitments in our life, or if we're afraid to make a commitment, sometimes it's nice just to take the leap. The Lord's going to carry you. And we put our trust in that and commit to something. Because in some way, He's going to show us a little bit below the surface. more deeper who we are, who we're called to, and what the great vocation that we've been called to in each of our lives. And give thanks for the love, the support, and encouragement that people have given us as we continue to live our vocation and all of our commitments in life.